Hey up, it's Steve, old Yorkshire geek. A bit of news, a bit of Star Trek news for you today. I haven't done any news for a while because there doesn't seem to have been a lot of news. Well, not news that I particularly find interesting, but this caught my eye today, although it's from a couple of days ago. It's from trekmovie.com, and it's an interview with Tawny Newsome, who plays Beckett Mariner in Star Trek Lower Decks. But we'll just have a read of this article, shall we? Because she's talking about the comedy that she's helping to write, the Star Trek sitcom, which I'm not looking forward to, but anyway. But before we start, don't forget to like and subscribe, share the videos, drop a comment, hit the notification bell if you're subscribed already. Explore the description for links for merch and me books and other websites, and like I said, in the description there's links for the, a link for the article that we're about to read, and all that stuff. Right, so we'll get on with it now. We'll have a look at this interview, which is from, as I said, I forgot already, trekmovie.com. So here it is. Interview Tawny Newsome on finding the sweet spot for her Star Trek workplace comedy. And there she is, looking, I don't know, bloody septum piercings do me head in. Septum piercings, thumb rings, facial tattoos. What else does me head in? There's something else that annoys me as well. Oh, them earrings that make a big massive hole in your earlobe. Them do me head in. Sorry. If you've got all of those, I'm going to judge you. And it's not going to be a nice judging. Anywho, right, so there she is. So from May the 8th, reported by Anthony Pascal. Trek Movie had a chance to talk to Star Trek Lower Decks star and Starfleet Academy writer Tawny Newsome on the red carpet for Star Trek Red Alert, which is an interactive thing at is it Epic Universe or whatever. Let's have a look. Universal Fan Fest, Universal Studios Hollywood. That's what it's going to be. There's like a bridge, an Enterprise D bridge that you can go and have fun on. And they sell Star Trek foods, such as, I know you can't see it, but I'm scrolling down. There we go. Klingon Targ legs, Vulcan fritters, which is apparently is falafel. That's look like meatballs, but I'm guessing they must be veggie because Vulcans are vegetarians, aren't they? But you never know these days. If falafel's vegetarian, isn't it? Is it? I don't know. I don't know. But anyway. Klingon Targ legs, which is pork, Tribble Truffle Trio, coconut balls. What else have we got? Drinks, Andorian ale with gin, Romulan ale with vodka, Seti eel margaritas, non-alcoholic with little eel gummies, it says. So there we go. The link is in the description there, if you want to follow that. Do so. Anyway, where were we? Star Trek Red Alert. And with the limited time we had, the focus was mostly on the live-action Star Trek comedy she is developing with Justin Simeon, isn't it? It's got an I in, I spelt it wrong. So I'm guessing did they just talk to her there? Because it says there, Trek Movie. They just like collar her in the on the red carpet, so to speak. Anywho, so you are here, says trekmovie.com, Anthony Pascal, I'm presuming. So you are here for Red Alert. Have you been on the physical Next Generation bridge replica before, like for Star Trek The Experience? Tawny Newsome says, not TNG, I was on the NCC 1701 Nothing for the Strange New World / Lower Decks crossover, those old scientists, of course, which was a fun episode, I enjoyed that. But no, I have never been on the D... Sorry, I glanced into camera, but you can't see me. She's never been on the D. I never did the Vegas thing. I was not in the franchise yet when the Vegas experience existed, so this is kind of my first chance. I'd have loved to have gone to the Star Trek Las Vegas thing, but obviously it never came to pass. I know somebody who went, but they said it was amazing. So what do you want to touch? Because I know you like to break things. Hey, that's my anecdote. You don't get to make fun of me for it. Laughs. Ha ha ha. Yeah, no, I want to break some shiz for sure. I'll touch a console, I'll mess with the helm, I'll send us to warp 10, turn us all into lizards. technically they weren't lizards, they were more amphibians, weren't they? Salamanders they were described as, weren't they? I suppose technically they'll still be mammals, were they? And whatever. Let's go. With all those flat panels, you can't really break anything. Oh, I'll find something to break. You're wasting your time, your limited time that you've got with her. Anyway, whatever. There she is with Jack Quaid as... oh, God. Why am I blanking on his bloody name now? Boimler. What's his first name? Bradward Boimler. There we go. Tawny Newsome. Oh, it says there's Mariner and Jack Quaid as Boimler. In Star Trek Strange New Worlds. Those old scientists episode. I hope they do it again. Switching to your Star Trek comedy project, you have more recently talked about how it has evolved since it was announced at San Diego Comic-Con last year. Can you talk about how it's evolved and why it's evolved? They ask. She replies, that's a really good question, and I'm going to talk more slowly so that I don't accidentally blurt... I don't think she's talking quite that slowly, is she? So that I don't accidentally blurt out shiz that will get me in trouble. So what I can say, it's not going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. This Star Trek comedy thing. So what I can say is, and what is the magic of development... and the magic of developing something I know so well, like Star Trek, is supposed to find what works best. And so with Trek, I know it's like the back of my hand. No, she doesn't. I don't think so, anyway. I think she's grown to love Star Trek, though. Did she love it before? I don't really know, but anyway. I also know comedy like the back of my hand. Figuring out where those two things intersect is like the divine chore. The incredible fun, but also the incredible work of making sure this show is perfect. It's not going to happen. I don't think so. That said, the original pitch of the series has shifted in a way that makes me very excited, because I feel confident that we've really found the sweet spot of where those two things intersect. So I'm very excited about it. I think it is still in very early development, because she keeps saying that things are going to change, or you know, everything's kind of up in the air about the direction that they're going, as we will see. At San Diego Comic-Con, CBS sent us a synopsis, essentially a workplace comedy on a vacation planet, not Riser, not in the Federation. So are those fundamentals still the same? You don't need the other R, Anthony. Those fundamentals are the same, but what I can tell you is what we're really working on exploring are the sort of overlooked sections of what happens when a world and a culture that is not what was not in the Federation. What? That is not that was not in the... What the hell does that mean? What happens when they decide to be? Be what? So Federation outsiders and what's kind of the nitty-gritty involved with joining the Federation and involved with, I'm really struggling to avoid spoilers. It's not going to happen, love, so just say what you want. Can you say what era it is? The era is still shifting. So there you go, it's still way up in the air. But my dream of dreams is to keep it in the 25th century. But Lower Decks wasn't in the 25th century, it was in the 24th century. But as I said, like in the Picard era, so anyone who was on that show could pop in. So anyone who was on Picard could theoretically be, My goal is that all of these lovely people, all of our legacy actors, everyone who's currently on the show, I want people to be able to show up with their real faces, where we don't have to, do some insane De Niro in The Irishman expensive AI to their face. Do you think I hope against hope that Star Trek Legacy doesn't transmogrify into this bloody Star Trek sitcom. Are you seeing yourself on the show? Yeah, I'm developing it for myself. Oh, is she joking there? I'm not entirely sure. So, as Mariner, that I cannot tell you. How old would she be? Now you are trying to get out if old Mariner is on the show, and how old I am, and I take offence. Laughs. Ha ha ha. Here is what I will say. I'm an actor / writer. I write for myself. I write to create roles for myself. That is why I got into writing. That is why I sent Alex Kurtzman scripts in the first place. Although there are rumours that he's not there anymore. That with this Skydance takeover, he's already out the door. But that's just rumours. I have no idea if that's true. Probably isn't, to be honest. He's like a bloody limpet, isn't he? Or a barnacle, he's hard to get rid of. Every script I had written was for me, because this business is so hard. You have to create opportunities for yourself. So I write to create roles for me, so that is the goal for this show. Should we get to... that is the other thing I have to say. I think she's about to say, should we get to making the blooming thing? I think that's what she's trying to say there. I love how much everyone is interested in asking me about it. It is not green lit. There we go. I am not dying to talk about it because I tend to be more cautious. But I love that you guys are asking about it. There you go. It is not green lit. I don't think it's going to happen. I know Alex has said he's told you guys to keep writing. So what is it that gets you to a yes? Is it waiting until things change at Paramount? Are they waiting for the right pitch? She replies, that is not a question for me. That is a question for someone with an office and an assistant and a desk. I'm sure she has all those things. I have a desk, but that's all I have. I think you're lying. If I knew what got us to a yes... Oh, excuse me. I would not be standing here waiting to eat a corn dog. Overrated. I once had a corn dog. Americans go mental for food that you... When non-Americans try and you think, why do they go mental over this? It's bloody awful. Anyway, whatever. Red Alert, Star Trek Red Alert featuring the USS Enterprise D bridge built for Star Trek Picard is one of the experiences available as part of Universal Fan Fest nights. Continues on select nights. On those dates, guests can purchase tickets here. There's a link. For this is in the description. And there's a photo. Is that from that, I presume? Oh, yeah. Star Trek celebrities at the Star Trek Red Alert at Universal Studios Hollywood. There's Geordie, LeVar Burton, there's what's-her-face, can't even remember her name, from Star Trek Picard. The bloody druggy, junkie, drunken, who ends up becoming the first officer of the Enterprise G. Get her out of there. I have no idea who that is. She's probably somebody really famous, but I don't know. And all these other people. Oh, there's Tawny Newsome there. Anybody else? I have no idea. I can't be bothered sifting through them all. Is that it? Oh, right. Is that it? We're done. Right. Fair enough. Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. The Star Trek situation comedy, most notably because it says there it is not greenlit. But you never know. Like I say, you never count out Alex Kurtzman. There's all these rumours that he's gone because of the Skydance takeover. That people at Skydance don't like him, or they don't like what he's done with Star Trek, and they want to get rid of him. But as I said, he's like a limpet or a barnacle or just something that has a really strong grip on its host. He's like a parasite, and he'll hang on. And I think he's not going anywhere. But hopefully I'm wrong, and we'll see, and he'll be out of there, and we'll get some good new Star Trek. But I'm not holding my breath, and I'm not holding my breath for this comedy. Even though I do like Tawny Newsome, I do like Lower Decks, but I've got to admit Beckett Marinette is probably my least favourite character on Lower Decks. I think she is. I think she's my least favourite character because she kind of does me head in. But Tawny Newsome seems nice and all that stuff, and she was good in that live action crossover with Star Trek Strange New Worlds. So fair enough. If she's working on this comedy, and I presume she's getting paid for it, all power to her. Even though it's not green lit, because Alex Kurtzman's just told him just to keep writing. I'd throw in her like $100 a week or something to keep her going. I don't know. Anyway, so there we go. So that's a little bit of news about the Star Trek situation comedy. It's not green lit, but they're still writing it. She's hoping it takes place in the 25th century. So not in the Lower Decks era, in the Picard era. On a planet that's not in the Federation, a vacation planet that's not in the Federation. The Shore Leave planet, is that in the Federation? I know it's been We've visited there a couple of times, but is it actually in Federation space? I'm not entirely sure. Or is it a new? I presume it'll be a new planet that we don't know the name of yet. But anyway, so there we go. There we go. We will leave that there. We will leave that there. So thanks for watching, wherever you are. Look after each other, and until next time, I'll say there.
That old Yorkshire geek with stories